Hey everybody, Lance Bell here. Now I'm doing something a little bit different today. I'm actually doing a response video. And the reason why I'm doing that is this. There's a couple of videos of one of the YouTubers that I watch, and I want to discuss both the videos. Now the YouTuber's name in question is Styxhexenhammer666. Now, as far as like politics, he's actually one of the long form guys that I've started watching in the last couple of months, and he's really, really good at what he does. He does a lot of research, but he does get it wrong. Sometimes he always admit it, like I do, and that's always good. But there's two different videos that I wanted to talk about today. Now the first one, I look at my monitor here, and I apologize, I should have the right screen up, is the first one here. I look back on, as I look, as you can tell I got a lot of stuff here on the screen. This actually dropped on February the 27th. It says, the time has come for a social media movement against corporations. Now, what is he talking about? Now, there is no secret that the media is corporate, no secret about that. Now, I've talked about this from time to time on my channel. Now, what he's talking about is this. He's talking about outright slaying the beast. And the beast is the media at large. And I'm going to discuss this. And the response is this. It's actually a question. Logistically, how do you expect this is going to work? I mean, I'm with you that I think starving the beast slowly is the better option versus talk about what you're saying, sticks and hammer, of slaying it completely. And let me explain why. Now, you bring up all the big media, newsprint, television, and radio. All right, here's the thing. There is no, let's start with newspapers first. There is no secret that newspapers are in trouble. Hell, even 60 Minutes did an entire story on this about 3 years ago. Talk about that very subject on newspapers are dying because they are. Now, has it stabilized? No idea. Maybe you newspaper guys can tell me if it has or not. Now, he talked about television. Now, television, he talking about the big major networks and their bias reporting. Now, look, anybody who does anything online on television is going to have, whatever, is going to have some bias. It's just the way it is. Now, he is right that the companies or the networks, they're losing people left and right. The audience skews older because they're going to sites like here on YouTube or I'm going like my Roku channel or something as far as that. He is right as far as that. There's no question that he's right. Now, he says don't watch him. Okay, fair enough. And radio. I mean, radio is radio. There's enough local radio stations out there that gets it right, does hard-nosed reporting. Like here in Akron, we have Rubber City Radio Group, right? They do one hell of a job as far as their reporting. And that's a legacy state. Those are legacy stations. So we got a good job here, but obviously it varies from where you live. So I totally understand that. But the way he wants to do it, I'm not totally sure. And Sticks and Hammer, if you watch this video, please tell me a little bit more in depth what you want to do. Now, you said that, use ad blockers. Okay, that's one way to starve them out. I agree with that. Going to use ad block, I totally understand it. Ad block, YouTube Red, if you use something like that. Let's see here. Sometimes I know a lot of people just download them, with the quote-unquote download, and watch them that way without any ads. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. Online, like say you use ad block, use archive, you have to share it. In radio, I mean radio is radio, you can't duck radio, you know. Here's my suggestion. And I've always stressed this. I can always get this point. I can never get this point across to a lot of people. When you're looking something up, research. Because even like what you're talking about, Sticks and Hammer, getting all your stuff from like on YouTube, for instance. There's enough nonsense on YouTube right now that even I have to sort through a lot of it when I do a show. I mean, it takes me forever to research. And that's why I do it the way I do for my main show, not necessarily quickies. It takes me a long time to put a show together, even though the show might be 10 minutes, because I'm doing a lot of time researching, because I got to sort through all the bullshit. And I gotta get that point across to a lot of people. So I understand what you want to do. You want to outright slay the beast. But isn't it a better idea to let it die a slow death? I mean, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. Let me know, like on my Facebook page and get Lancet Media, or Real Deal with the Anti-Pundit, depending on you go to. Go, like, watching this on YouTube, let me know in the comments below. Now, the other video I saw actually dropped here, was it today? It was actually yesterday, excuse me. I'm actually taking this on Sunday versus a Friday like I normally do. He says, paid shills to flame people like Manu, Raise a Fist, myself, right? Okay. Say what you want by Stephen Maloney, but like, I don't necessarily know if they're paid shills. They might be just outright trolling, as far as like the corporate media. I mean, they're going after him. They're going after PewDiePie. He brought up Sargon Bakad, another long-form YouTuber who's gotten big in the last year. Now, I will say this. I don't get it that much. I really, really don't. Now, am I aspiring to be a big YouTuber or a big content creator? Yes, I am. Now, they are going after those people because they're scared. Because their reach is a whole lot broader and a whole lot stronger. Because let's face it, the youth of America, and I'm talking about people 35 and younger, don't necessarily go to them for their news. And I've said this before, it's a sad state of affairs that people post up on Facebook, for instance, from a questionable source as fact, and that fact is absolute. That's why I tell people to research before you post something. And like I said, even I get it wrong. Styxhexenhammer666 gets it wrong, like I'm referring here in the video. I mean, Sargon has even gotten it wrong. So, you gotta be careful with these sites going after sites. Now, about a year ago, the perfect example of this, there was a video I talked about that Pat the NES Punk did. He's talking about large YouTubers going after smaller YouTubers. And him and Ian was right, because they're scared. Because the big YouTubers want small YouTubers are scared. But I apply it in this context because it's the exact same thing, but in reverse. The legacy media is going after content creators on YouTube or Dailymotion or somebody like on Roku, somebody like me, for instance, for the exact same thing. They're scared. Now, what Styxhexenhammer was saying is, get the news from like somebody like me or him, Sargon, somebody like that. And that's what he's saying. But the flip side is, you gotta be careful. Like I said earlier in this video, there's a lot of bias involved. There really, really is. You have to be careful of that if you're going to do it that way. Yes, if you want to get your news, get it from every source you can to form your own opinion. That is the best way of doing it. Now I feel sorry for Styxhexenhammer and all those guys, because once they got big, and I think a lot of it's trolling. I'm talking about from people online in general. Now, as far as the media themselves, yes, he is correct. I'm trying to give you some words of encouragement on this. It's like, and I really can't right now because I don't know how this is gonna end up. I really, really, really don't. And I wish I really knew the answer. Now, the links will be in the description below, so you can watch them, what I'm talking about. So it's something to where I just don't know how it's going to play out. And I feel bad for these guys, because people are going after them because they're getting big, and a lot of it is because 90% plus of the time, they're right, and I'm right. And there's no bias. We're just getting on here with our cameras, or webcams, or cell phones, or whatever, giving to you how it is. A lot of it's out, and a lot of times without bias, especially as long-form guys who do a lot of research, and it's laid out there for people to watch. So, that's that. Well, folks, I'm going to get off here. Go out and enjoy your weekend. And with St. Patrick's Day coming up, be safe out there, because on Friday, it will be amateur night. But I thank you for watching this video. And always, 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 like I always say at the very end of every one of my videos, be careful, and you better remember, fear the root. That's right, fear the root.